Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Monday Rewind. Today is June the 18th, 2018, and Mondays we talk about the tournaments from the previous week. And last week there was really only two tournaments. There was the one on the LPGA, which I'll get to in a minute, and then there was the US Open, which was fantastic. I mean, it was really enjoyable. Brooks Koepka definitely played the best, the steadiest. All parts of his game were firing. He was driving the ball well, keeping it in play. When he did drive it in the rough, he played smart and laid up. His wedge game and his putter constantly got him out of trouble. He holed some clutch putts on the back nine and came to the last hole with a two-stroke lead, missed the green left, and just did the smart thing. Just played it a little bit wide and then just, lagged his putt, made sure it was a tap in like this for his victory. Tommy Fleetwood will always be thinking of what if on the 18th hole. He had a putt for 62, and like a lot of times I've seen this where they hit the putt too soft, and he was playing uphill. And I've said this to my students so many times: when you've got an uphill putt, when you do your practice swing to decide how hard you're going to hit it, don't look at the hole. Look a good 12 to 18 inches beyond the hole, and then you won't leave it short because you're trying to hit it 12 inches. That was an uphill putt. It wouldn't have got away from him. He could have hit it quite firm and got by. It was a very, very important putt. So I'm disappointed in a fantastic round that could have ended up getting him in a playoff. He played gutsy golf to get there. Dustin Johnson joins the Tiger Woods Club as the Bulky Putter Club. He just, on the last two rounds, he had 38 putts on Saturday and 35 putts on Sunday. That's definitely not going to get it done. He was almost stone last in strokes gained putting over the weekend. So both him and Tiger have to really work on their putting. Dustin putted great on the first two rounds, but he's not putting well under pressure. And so he has to think up something to do to learn to putt well under pressure. What I do with my juniors when I'm teaching them how to putt under pressure is I'll make them do jumping jacks, right? So they'll go 1, 2, 3, do 10 jumping jacks, and then grab the putter, walk up to the putt and putt it. So you've increased the heart rate, and then you've got to get over the putt, take a deep breath and knock it in. Maybe Dustin's got to do something like that to help. Patrick Reed got us excited for a while. The first 9 holes he played unbelievable golf, and everybody thought, well, maybe 2 majors in a row instead of 2 US Opens in a row. But back 9, same as Dustin, ran out of steam, pressure got to him, and Brooks Koepka walks away with another US Open trophy. The big story of the week, Phil Mickelson. And I want to spend a bit of time on this because I've always admired Phil and I always thought he knew the rules really well. This really showed his ignorance of the rules, and he took advantage of the rules. I personally think he should have been disqualified. I think there's a lot of players who think he should be disqualified. The USGA thought otherwise. I think Phil Mickelson's status in the game had an influence over their decision and didn't want to disqualify him and kick him out of the US Open. But when you blatantly break a rule, this wasn't just an accidental hit or anything like that. This was blatantly running after the ball and hitting it while it was moving. To me, that goes under, disqualification. But there were 2 rules that Phil could have played to that would have given him a lower score than the 10 that he ended up with. If he'd let the ball roll, and the ball had rolled down off the green and rolled down and curved behind the bunker and left him a difficult shot over the bunker, he could have declared that unplayable. So the player is the sole judge as to whether a ball is unplayable or not. He could have declared the ball unplayable, and one of the options on an unplayable lie is to play where you played your last shot from. So he could have put the ball back down on the green where he played his last shot from. So instead of running after the ball, what Phil should have done was quickly whipped out a marker and put a marker in where his ball was. he mentioned that the reason he hit it is he thought it might go into the bunker. Well, so let's think about this on the first one for a minute. He was playing his fifth shot and it rolled away, and he ran and he hit the sixth putt, add 2, 8, missed the next one, 9, tapped it in, 10. If he takes the stroke and distance from an unplayable line, he plays the ball back, so now he's playing his 7th shot. So if he misses that putt, still going to make an 8, 2 strokes better than he was. Now, if the ball had rolled into the bunker, that was his 5th shot. Phil is a really good bunker player. He would have played his 6th shot back onto the green, and then he would have had a putt for a 7. If he missed it, he would have made an 8. So I think both scenarios would have A, given Phil 2 strokes less, and B, kept his reputation intact. There's a lot of people that are going to lose faith in Phil Mickelson's reputation, because when he arrived for day 4, there was no contrition. There was no, you know what, I made a mistake, I'm sorry. It was like, I took the 2-shot penalty and it is what it is. And I think the right thing for Phil Mickelson to do would be arrive on day 4 and say, folks, I made an error, I'm withdrawing from the tournament. I think that's the right thing to do. I think that would have done Phil Mickelson way more than the $4,000 odd that he won by playing on Sunday. So there you have it for my thoughts on the PGA tournament. So-Young Ryu won the LPGA tournament in Madison, Wisconsin, and Carolina Masson, who's from France, held a bomb on the last hole trying to get into the race, but it wasn't to be. So-Young Ryu played really good, steady golf. Lydia Ko also put a bit of a run in at the end, but finished 3 shots back and wasn't quite good enough. So next week we have PGA, LPGA, Senior Tour and European Tour all in action. So join us next Monday for news on those 4 tournaments.